Okay, hello, we are back again and I'm here with Bill. Today we're doing another fun coffee collaboration. So for those of you who don't know who Bill is,
Alright, hello, I am Bill from Hydrangea and my shop specializes in dank coffee. Click the videos here if you haven't seen that video. And then, so today we are doing two really interesting coffee. So one is kind of a wash coffee, the other one is kind of a natural coffee. And this is from the legendary producer Pepe Jijon.
Pepe Jijon. Yeah, where you couldn't really buy Pepe Jijon outside of like Say and Manhattan, but how did you even get these coffees?
Alright, so I slid into his DM on WhatsApp and he replied and he's like, whoa, you're the first person that contacted me through in California. And he's like, oh, cool. So he's down to do it after many texts later. And then here we are. We have 20 kilos of each coffee sitting at Koro. And I sample roasted two profiles on Ikawa, profile A and profile B. And so, Brian's gonna cup it.
Yeah, so the kind of thing that I'm trying to learn about and what Bill is showing us today is like, we have differing profiles on the roasting end. How does that actually like impact the final production cup? And for those of you watching, you'll be able to taste the profile that Bill does production on. So we have a variety of options here. We're going to cup these and we'll go into some details on like what is different between each of them and how does that actually impact the flavors in cup. So what are the coffees that we have exactly on this table?
So we have a Typica Mejorado tea oxidator washed. So it's kind of a pre-fermented wash, pre-fermented coffee for 36 hours, and then they go through a wash process. This is a Typica Mejorado, and then you get some notes of plum, jasmine, and cranberry. And this is a wave natural, where they do natural at different temperatures throughout the natural process. And this is a seed-drop varietal, and you get notes of hibiscus and citrus and orange blossom.
Yeah, so what we're most likely going to experience is we're going to experience those flavor notes, but we're going to experience the way those notes are going to be presented are going to be influenced by the roasting profile. So now let's go ahead and cup these and figure out which profile we like the best, and then we'll do production on it.
You want to do it?
All right, so now. Okay, there's one. Or like, I don't know which profile is which, but you know, we only have two options. We have A and B for each of them. And after we taste each of them, we'll be able to kind of see which one we like better, and then Bill will tell us what the differences are. I think that's super fun. Okay, well, here we go. So these are now ready to cup. Our cupping spoons here. You definitely smell, so these ones here are separated based on what coffee they are. So this is Taxator Wash, this is the Wave Natural, and I'm gonna start with the wash coffee and then we'll kind of go down the line. Definitely smell that like, it's like that Kenyan tomato, which is really interesting, right?
Much more red fruit on one of them.
It's like super interesting considering this is not a Kenyan coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
And tomatoes are not that desirable in Kenyan coffee.
Okay. So what we're doing is we're just cupping all of these, and then when we're done cupping, we're going to discuss like what the differences between each profile is, and then we're gonna figure out which one we like the most. So what's already interesting between these two is clearly they're the same exact coffee. Clearly we're tasting the same coffee, but where the flavors appear and how intense they are is quite different. And also the finishes are different too. And that's the cool thing with roasting is you can influence all these things. They're both great. It's actually kind of hard to pick which one. Wow.
They're actually much closer than the time that I cupped. One was significantly better first day off roast.
We're about now over a week off roast on these samples here. kind of am liking this one better. I also can't see the labels, but so far I think I like this one better than this one. There's just something going on in the aftertaste here that I'm not like.
It's a little bit grass or hay, that kind of finish.
Yeah.
A little bit earthy.
A little earthy.
And then the first one just way more vibrant.
Yeah, like there's like a red fruit in here that is significantly more vibrant, that is popping out more, and then the finish doesn't have this slight defect in it that has like that grassy, almost like barley tea at times. Although I will say, like, the initial coffee here has that red fruit acidity that's still shining through, and both of these are also like really clean, surprisingly. Like, wow. But I like this profile the most.
The second one is much more round. The red fruit comes in like a tad second later than the second one. Not right away.
So I like this profile. What is the difference between these two?
These.
Or let's cup these and then we'll discuss which ones.
Right, because they're roasted on the exact same profile.
Okay.
But very, very different.
Okay. Wow. Significantly different than the washed.
Right.
Also different varietal. You definitely can taste there's a natural component to this. Like in the finish, I'm detecting that slight pulpiness that you get from naturals.
A little bit like red wine, a little bit overripe fruit.
But not overpowering, at least in this one here. This is another one where I'm like, they're both great. And it's hard to, like, there isn't one that's like, they're not distinctively different right now.
Right. These are both great profiles. We're nitpicking here. We're really nitpicking, optimizing for slightly better coffee.
They're actually significantly closer than I would have expected them to be. So here's my kind of quick evaluation between these two, or quick thoughts on between these two. This has, I think, a more impactful fruit note in here, but the finish, you're getting some of that booziness.
Right.
This doesn't have the booziness. The finish on this is a little bit better, but the fruit isn't popping as much. So personally, I think like with naturals, I would want the fruits to pop up, but this is a hard one to pick between. It's like, do you want more of that booziness to come out with more fruits, or do you want less booziness but less fruit and it's cleaner? So with both of these are like this coffee on this, I'd be surprised if this was like you told me this was a natural, which is like this is a lot cleaner. You can detect the naturalness in this profile, but you can't in this one as easily, which is like really interesting. Wow, roasting.
Yes. So this is the nice thing about you doing two standard roasts is you can kind of because usually your production roast is gonna enter somewhere in between the spectrum of roast A or roast B. It's not gonna be 100% profile A nor 100% profile B. It's probably somewhere in between. And especially with this coffee, that I'm probably leaning closer towards B, but keeping some of the characteristics in A. I'm trying to basically merge those two curves together.
Yeah, so this is B, this is A, okay. Yeah, but they're both really good. If I were to pick, I would probably go with this guy just because this is more, in my mind, representative of a natural.
Interesting.
But personally, like, I think this is the superior, I think B is the superior profile.
B doesn't have that like super funky taste to it, and this is not advertised to people as a funky coffee. If you prefer funkier coffee, there are the Koji selections, and the 720 selections.
But this here is like, you know, if I were to put like numbers, this is like, you know, 8 out of 10 on the fruitiness, 9 out of 10 on the fruity. This is like maybe a 7. So it's a tick lower on the fruit, but the rest of the properties like the finish and the linger is, I would say, worse on this one because of that booziness. It's cleaner on this one. It feels, you know, it tastes better to me. So if I were to pick, I would go with this profile here, which is, I think, A for washed, and then this profile, which is B for the natural. So, yeah, we'll probably do production on those. But what are the differences between each of these profiles?
All right, so
moment of truth.
I could link the final e-commerce profiles on the internet for people who are interested. So A is Crown's standard low density roast, is a little bit hotter, so slightly higher charge temperature. Overall finish in about 6 minutes. So really fast roasting. About 3 minutes in Maillard, 2 minutes in drying. So it's great for washed coffee since washed coffee is slightly higher in density compared to their natural counterparts. So it's much easier to get water off of coffee when you're in the drying phase. So this allows you to dry quickly, and then you go through a Maillard phase, and then you go first crack, you drop about like 10-12% development, and then as you can see, A and B brings out, both of the A profile has significantly more fruit and B profile has slightly mellower fruits. But for natural coffee, I like to take the roast a little bit slower. Not only it lets you dry the coffee, because if you dry the coffee too fast, it has that unwanted boozy notes in it. It introduces a lot of herbaceous notes in, especially the koji, especially heavier fermentations. It tastes like Chinese medicine, not the great thing. So taking it a little bit slower, and then natural also has significantly more sugar, and we really want those sugars to develop in a slightly longer Maillard phase than A. So then we have a little bit more interesting flavor.
Okay, yeah, so that is why we probably prefer A for the washed and B for the natural. Is the profiles are tuned for those coffees. But that's really interesting, is to see like how roasting profiles just impact the overall flavors. Now I do think what we've tasted here, even though we're not roasting them to optimal profiles, like for washed or for naturals, the actual greens here that we're using are quite fantastic.
Right.
And I think, does that play into, like, if you have really great greens, does that make roasting easier? Or
yes, much more easier. Just like you have, so natural ingredients is always what I try to source in the first place. Once you have great greens, and then it's pretty much hard to screw it up if you just try and roast properly. But I still try to do 2 profiles and cup it, and then pick somewhere in between. And this is how my standard development process goes for each coffee at Hydrangea.
Okay, well, now let's go and actually roast some of these coffees. Or I'm not gonna roast, I'm gonna have Bill roast these, and he's going to roast the profiles that we like the most. So we're gonna probably we're aiming more for A for the wash, and then B here for the natural. And then you guys will be able to taste the profiles that we've played around with today on the production roast. And yeah, it'll be fun. So, all right, let's go roast. Okay, so now we're gonna roast the coffee, or I'm not roasting, but Bill's gonna roast the coffee. We're gonna start off with the wash first, and we're gonna aim for the profile that we liked in the sample roast. So at profile A, you wanna talk about what you're doing?
So profile A is a little bit is a hot and fast one. So we're aiming for a little bit higher charge temperature, and we're trying to get through Maillard in about 3.5 minutes, and then we get to Maillard to 3.5 minutes, and take about 3 minutes on Maillard, and go through about 50 seconds to a minute of post development, and see what the coffee is like. So the charge temperature is going to be a little bit higher. I'm going to charge this at 420 degrees Fahrenheit. So this goes in. I'm waiting for the roaster to get back up in temperature.
Okay.
Yeah. So right around 410 is when it wants to start.
Okay.
And by the time everything fully charges, it goes into.
Okay, so now the coffee's in, and now we're just letting it roast. So
yeah, so I usually like to let it soak. So aka putting a lower heat for coffee to get into it, and then in about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna push this coffee a little bit higher, since this is really good green and it's able to take on a lot of heat. So I'm gonna crank the heat all the way up to about like 90%, right around 30 seconds.
Okay.
So we'll just let it climb and let it do its thing. So if Brian wants to try it. You get lots of hay,
yeah.
not much interesting things going on. So we're just trying to carefully do the drying process.
Profile A, hotter and shorter for the wash coffee. So we up the temperature there, and we're just letting it...
Kind of just let it do its thing,
okay.
Dry quickly, so we can get to Maillard.
Okay.
and then let it have about three-ish minutes of time to keep. I like to keep the mire time on the shorter end, so closer three to 3.5 minutes to keep a lighter body. So to give it a really good clarity. I noticed that if you do it closer to 4 or 4.5, the body becomes a little bit too much.
Okay, but we're about like 2.5 minutes
into drying.
Okay.
And it's gonna take about another 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Might probably 3:30, 3:45.
And then we drop the temperature.
We slowly turn down gas. Yes.
Yeah. So we put the coffee in. We're roasting at a hotter temperature, and we're gonna try to aim more towards that sample roast profile that we tasted. It seems to be on production, like bigger roasters. There's more flexibility of what we can do compared to an Ikawa. This is a juicy strawberry.
This is just letting a previous batch drop.
Yeah.
Just in case I forgot. All right.
So we're letting this roast. We're aiming for closer to what we tested on the test roast, and hotter and then shorter roast. So let's kind of see how that works. But like, it seems on these like bigger roasters, there's more flexibility of what you can do.
There's more flexibility, but roasting generally takes longer. For example, like a 6-minute profile generally translates to like an 8-minute profile on a bigger machine. And no two roasters are going to be identical.
Right. Well, I'm hoping you can roast this coffee well. Less of that hay.
Right, yeah.
We're getting more into like that baked bread, sweet territory now. So just roasting. That's just, let it roast, let it do its thing. But yeah, coffee roasting is a big rabbit hole. It's hard to do. And
so you can see that the color's starting to change, starting to turn yellow.
It's yellowing.
Right. So I'm gonna mark it.
So we're on the right track. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, a lot more like cranberry. You want to do it?
Sure.
No, I don't want to burn you.
The colors are changing, the aromas are starting to appear. It went from very like grassy green coffee. Now it's starting to smell sweet, like a more developed coffee. That's what's cool about roasting. Roasting is just like such a fascinating world that I'm trying to learn more about, which is why we're doing this type of project. But we're using like hot temperature for a lot of this, right?
Yeah, so about like about 5 minutes dry, about 4 minutes of, closer to 4 minutes, probably gonna be 3. Trying to keep this light.
Starting to change color even more, like
much darker.
Wow, much darker color. It's definitely like a fruit aroma that's starting to appear.
Right.
So that's really, really cool. It's like you go from grassy greens to now fruit. And it's gonna get more and more. This is really cool.
Yeah, say it will be like a 45-second drop, basically.
Lighter roast.
Super light.
May require a month of rest time. I don't know, I'm not the one roasting it here, so if it doesn't taste good, this is what's happening here.
Yeah, we'll drop right around here.
There we go.
So right around 50 seconds, super light.
Wow, you can smell this aroma off of this. Wow.
Definitely.
Red fruit.
Cool.
I mean, it's hot, you can feel the heat, but like,
right.
It just smells really nice. Okay, now we're doing the natural.
The Sidra, yeah. I'm gonna wait until.
So now we're doing the Sidra. We're just keep going down the line. Bill here pays for time to roast here, so we got to be efficient. So we want to thank him for his time for letting us film while he's working. Wow. You can just like, it smells super sweet. You can smell cranberry, like red fruits. Really amazing. It is on the lighter side. You can see like, we have a few Quakers here and there that we can clearly see, but outside of that, looking really good. Smelling really good. Can't wait, I can't wait to brew this, but we're probably gonna let this rest for a while. So Bill just put in the natural there, and now we continue to roast.
Is better. I do less work.
Yeah, like, I see like 2 Quakers in here.
Yeah, they're like, this is one.
One, yeah, like not a lot.
Not a lot.
So the greens are just really high quality.
Yes.
It smells nice. Yeah,
yes.
That's crazy.
Wow. Well, this is the coffee that you guys are going to be able to taste very soon. It's light too.
Yeah, super light.
So when you use better greens, you get less errors. Like the greens seem to be able to hold up to a lot more that you can do. Like the greens seem to hold up a lot. Like it's really fascinating to see. Like yeah, green quality does really matter, but
Tremendously.
yeah, tremendously. But like this is super cool to look at. I'm really excited to try some of this. It looks really even too. Good job.
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Super light.
The way it should be. There we are. I am looking forward to brewing this. I really hope people enjoy this coffee. I mean, like, this cupped really nicely on that A profile, and just the aromas coming off of the roasted coffee here, it's just really nice. All right, we're gonna now make some of the folks in the Bay Area enthusiast community do some work here. So we have, you guys wanna smell this? It smells amazing, by the way. No, you guys need to bag it. They're now, Bill is asking for you guys to pack it up. Okay, first bag, let's go. All right, Bill's finishing up roasting, but here we go. April 16th, 200 grams. There we go. And then we're getting the heat sealer ready there, so we're kind of just, after we keep packaging these guys, we're just gonna run them through the heat sealer, and then these will get shipped out to you guys. All right, just getting more of these, and then we're gonna seal them up. Or like, I've been trying to get rid of some of these Quakers or any like defects that I see, so hopefully the bags that you guys get of these will have less, at least in the super first production run of this. But it's been, like, these are just looking really nice. I hope it tastes good. You know, they could look nice and not taste good, but we'll see. I think this one definitely a few weeks before you brew it. But by the time this video comes out, I'm pretty sure a lot of it will be ready to go. Okay, so now we're doing the natural here. We finished up the wash, got the natural now. It's fun to do production sometimes. So here we go, and we're just kind of keeping down the line, and you know, we've graciously employed some of the Bay Area enthusiasts here to help us bag some of these coffees up. It's funny to see like 2 bags of coffee with my face on it. I don't know. I'm not used to that. It's kind of jarring. But we're just packing, and we're gonna get these out to you guys. So I don't know if this video will come out that soon, but these will probably be for sale. Some of you guys might have the coffee by the time this video comes out. But it'll go up onto the Hydrangea.coffee website, and you guys will be able to buy it soon. I know people have been asking to buy this coffee.
Soon, TM.
Soon. Wow, it just looks pretty. Or, this is so funny to me. Look at that. Like, we 2 coffees with Pepe Jijon. That's kind of just like, really want to thank Pepe for doing something like this with us, because it's just been so fun to talk with him and put these coffees out there. I'm really excited for everyone to try them. But yeah, we got the Typica Medorado and the Sidra Wave Natural. So 2 pretty distinctive coffees, but the greens are just so nice, and really want to thank Pepe for dealing with us and sending coffee over to the Bay Area for us to roast. Cool. Okay, so we wrapped up roasting, we were packing all of the orders, but this is for, specifically in what you're seeing in this video is for the local folks. So for those of you who are local watching the video, you have probably pre-ordered the coffee already and are getting it. For the actual ones, you're gonna get the same coffee. The artwork is gonna look a little bit different, and that will probably launch soonish, or by the time this video goes out, the orders have probably already gone out there. This was just a fun project. We did a bunch of testing. We wanna see how interested are people in these types of projects. It's fun for roasters and fun for us to pull off some of these collaborations. But yeah, this was, hopefully the coffee will be getting out to you guys. Hopefully it's tasting good. I have no idea what the reaction is going to be like, but so far of the sample roasts we've tested, they're fantastic. And we're now waiting for the production roast to rest, and we'll try the production roast later on. But otherwise, yeah, that was fun time with Bill, roasting coffee, getting it out there, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But see you guys later.